Yeah, Coach, so 4-minute or so run in the second half, and it just took off. What was the difference in that run?
I really thought Eduardo kind of ignited some of that for us and blocked a couple shots, which led to us getting out in transition. We were able to get a couple open looks that we weren't getting on some of the half-court stuff, and then I thought it freed us up a little bit, and we found our rhythm, found our energy a little bit more.
Questions for the players, please.
So Tucker, start with you. The rhythm early for you wasn't necessarily there, but did you feel it get going? How much did the energy, the crowd, help you with that?
Yeah, I think I honestly just kind of let it come to me better in the second half, got better looks. And then I think the crowd was a big factor in all aspects of the game. I thought, our team didn't quite have the same juice in the first half as it did the second half, and I thought, we came out the second half and brought it a little bit, and then obviously I think the crowd, definitely, it helps ignite that a little bit too. So they were a huge impact on this game for sure.
Javon, sort of same thing for you with the crowd. How much did that help fuel the fire?
I feed off energy. So I feel like the crowd was the crowd was really great. Once they got rowdy and got loud, then I started screaming in the crowd and everything whenever I make a big play. But yeah, I feed off energy, so the crowd was perfect.
Javon, I'm wondering, as it gets midway through the second half and it's a tied game or, one possession either way, is there any part of you thinking, oh man, I hope we don't go to another overtime game?
Nah, I just look at coach, whatever play call he call. I just tell the team that's what I do. I'm not thinking about another overtime. Only thing I'm thinking about is a win.
You been up for another overtime game?
Yeah. If that's what it had to come to, but I'd rather just get the dub out the way first, though.
Both Tucker and Javon held Georgetown to 60 points tonight. What'd you make of the team defensive effort?
I think the second half we were just more hooked up, more engaged. Thought early box outs, I think me and Amani both kind of, just missed them, quite honestly, and that was a lot of their points in the first half. But I thought in the second half, I thought we overall just played harder, and then guards were able to rebound down and get out in transition, which, helps our offense as well. And I think that's when you saw the run take off a little bit.
You're seeing doubles and hard hedges almost every possession. They're coming at you trying to get you to give the ball up. Mentally, how do you handle that? Is it a thing of, hey, I know this is going to be coming, I've got to see a way I can attack this, see how I can set my teammates up?
Yeah, I kind of just adjust to whatever the defense throws at me. So, if they're hard hedging, I'm not really hungry to score the ball all the time. So if I see the open man or I see open pass, I'm going to just make the pass.
Javon, you mentioned you feed off of energy. What does it do to you when you look over to the sideline and you can see your head coach basically pounding the floor, calling for a stop?
I ain't even see him. I seen him. Yeah, I seen him screaming one time. But like I said, he was engaged. He was fired up. The crowd was fired up. I think we got some really big stops at possession. So like I said, I feed off the energy. Everything was just great.
I did that all for you, and you didn't even see it.
Nah, I ain't seen it.
No, that was up there with you were into that one.
I think I pulled something.
Hey, Javon, how much does it help when you have an eraser on the back line? Somebody gets by you, but then Eduardo's there to clean it up. He comes from a long ways to get those balls.
Eduardo was great today. We needed him to box out, get some key rebounds. Like you said, he got some really key blocks that led out to transition points. But yeah, it's always good to have that, secondary defender that we know that can block a shot.
Javon, when you first came here, I imagine you come here with, kind of what you expect things to be, or if I work hard, I can get to this point and that sort of thing. But it seems like you've kind of grown really comfortable into this bigger impact kind of role, and I don't know if that's ever a situation you've been in at previous stops. I'm just kind of wondering, how have you adjusted to that? Has it just been natural, or just kind of take me through that?
What do you mean by a bigger impact?
Well, just the fact. Expectations wise, being a bigger role, so than maybe at previous stops.
Yeah, no, I've always felt like I've had like a pretty key role or like some responsibilities, but I do whatever the team needs me to do, honestly, for us to win.
Any other questions for the players?
Tucker, It seemed like Georgetown really attacked your screens hard, physically, trying to disrupt the rhythm that you all have with that. Did you notice that? And when that happens, do you have to, kind of attack back, push back? How do you cope with that?
Yeah, I thought especially early, they were pretty physical and almost top blocking some of the stagger screens. But I think even if I don't come off the play, we're able to counter it with other things for other guys. And I thought as the game went on, we did a good job of screening and kind of utilizing. They're relaxing a little bit, but overall, I think the team just kind of adapted and was able to get other guys open looks and. I thought Toby especially did a great job of, just sticking with it, and he made some big plays for himself and set some big screens as well.
Javon, one more. 1 second, late in the second half, 1 second left on the shot clock. Big guy, I think, had switched on you. Bank in a three. I mean, that's how you draw up, right? I mean.
Yeah, I ain't called bank, but, I'll take it, though. It don't matter how the shot going. As long as it going, I'll take it.
Okay, guys, thank you. Finish up with Coach.
Thanks, guys.
So, Darren, a little bit about the same crowd energy and how much did that feed into what you guys were doing during your run?
Yeah, I thought the crowd was tremendous. I mean, this was kind of our first chance as a staff and as a team to kind of feel, what the Coliseum's like when it's, pretty full. And I thought the crowd had a tremendous impact on the game because we were half a step slow a good portion of the night. But I thought their energy provided us some energy, and then we were able to come out of it. And then once we did that, then we were able to, sustain it for the rest of that second half. But I thought, unbelievable in terms of like when you have a home court advantage like that with that type of noise, you could tell it impacted their offense and their ability to execute and call plays. They had to break down into one-on-one stuff because they couldn't call out, what they wanted to run, which helped our defense, obviously.
Coach, you say you're half a step slow to start. Did it feel like Georgetown got to, slow the pace down to how they wanted to play and not, as fast as you guys want to?
Yeah, they kept us off balance, and we hadn't seen that yet this year. So I thought, we never found a good flow. They were going from man to zone and stuff, and we just weren't very good at attacking it the way we would have liked. I thought the second half we were much more aggressive with some of that stuff, and our movement got better in the second half. The first half was just a little bit too, one pass and a shot. I thought we just got a little anxious, and part of that might have been a little excited, with the crowd too. We were just, a little anxious to kind of do it too early in possessions. But as the game went on, I thought we settled in much better.
Coach, I'm trying to understand Javon here a little bit more. He's obviously had big impacts at the other places he's been, but he's never really been asked to be a superstar. And now all of a sudden he's putting up superstar numbers, and he acts like it's just another regular day to him. What is it? I mean, obviously that's a great thing as a coach to be someone, but his personality, is that what allows him to just kind of just...
he had to play a big role at Oklahoma State, too. I think, he's really confident. He's a veteran point guard. I think one of the things that has helped him here, too, is we're able to get a little better spacing for him. We got some shooting around him that allows him to get into spaces a little bit better so he can, when he gets by his guy, there's not two guys waiting for him all the time because they don't want to leave Tucker or they want to get back to Amani or JP or whatever. So I think he's just, embracing, being a part of this team. Like I said, he's all about winning. I mean, tonight was 26 again, and like when we played Arizona, he deferred to Tucker because he had it going. Vaughn doesn't care. All he wants to do is win. That's his main priority.
After the game, a bit of a scuffle. Did you get to see what happened there? And then Coach Cooley after said that he was actually in favor of not shaking hands after games because emotions are too high. Do you agree with that statement? I didn't really see what happened there, but a good wave may not be bad. Just do the NBA style, But it was a competitive game. Both teams were competing hard, and that's the way it ended.
What changed with rebounding in the second half? I mean, you ended up down in rebounds at halftime, and then after the game, you win the rebound battle. And notice the little look you gave Tucker whenever he mentioned boxing out in the first half. So is that the issue? Was that what changed going into half two?
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to get rebounds, especially when you're undersized, you got to hit people. And he might have missed a couple in the first half, but I thought the second half we just played harder. Like we got tougher, we got more physical, played with more energy, more enthusiasm. I mean, that's like I told the team after the game, like that first half team, that team's not going to win a lot of games. You know, we have to play a certain way for us to be good, and the way we played in that second half, I'll take that team anywhere, but you have to be able to do that every single night, and that's every single possession, because you don't always get to go on that 16-0 run to pull you out of it. So that's where we're still growing as a team, is learning how to do that every single day, whether it be practice or games. So it's just, hey, this is us, this is what we do, and when we get to that point, then we'll be able to maximize what we're capable of.
Coach, yesterday you weren't sure Eduardo was going to be able to play. Fair to say his best game of the season so far. Just, I mean, the kind of impact he made tonight.
Yeah, it was good to have him back in the lineup. For a reason. That presence, especially defensively, that ability to block shots. That's a huge deal for us, and he had 4 of them tonight. So, big difference in the game.
Was there something different tonight that brought that energy out of you tonight? And as fans get to know you, is that something that they can expect all season long?
I just felt like we needed, like I tell the guys, whatever it takes to try to win a game, and I felt like we needed a little energy, a little enthusiasm. That's why I was disappointed. Vaughn didn't even notice I did it all for nothing, But as coaches, you try to do anything you can to provide a spark, and during the course of a game, whatever you try to do to push the right buttons, and I felt like the crowd could help us get going, because I know how some of our guys respond, and how all teams respond to that, and I know the impact it has on the other team too when the crowd gets into it. So that home court advantage that we have is real, and when this crowd is engaged like that, this is a very, very tough place to play.
Darren, quick succession in the second half. Toby took 2 corner threes. The first one missed, the second one, and it looked like the same play. I don't know if you called it twice or if the guys went to it by themselves twice, but I don't know, can you share? And if you did call it twice or if the guys did go to it twice, what does that say about trusting that stuff?
Yeah, we were, because they were trapping, and we were going to a little bit more of some short roll stuff, and then getting somebody to commit to the big, and then we were able to spray it out from there. So it was really just our bigs finding, which guy was open, and Toby's playing with a lot of confidence right now, and stepped in and hit a huge one there. He had 2 huge ones in our last game against Arizona late in the game. So it's great to see him, finding that rhythm and confidence, and he's playing at a high level right now for us.
Cooley said he felt them having 8 assists was basically what the game boiled down to. Was there anything defensively that you saw from your team that kind of took those away and made them somewhat choppy offensively throughout?
Yeah, again, I feel like some of it was the crowd impacting their inability to communicate and run plays. So, once they couldn't get into stuff, it turned them into, they had to try to go, default into some one-on-one type situations, which then takes away their ability to get assists. I thought our guys did a really good job too of that was my concern coming into it. We could guard their actions, but now it's, can you guard them one-on-one when the action breaks down, because they're aggressive, they're good, they're scorers, and I thought our guys did a really good job of trying to take away some of their strong hands, and then also making them play in crowds, and that's where we were able to get some of those deflections and get hands on balls and make those driving lanes crowded.
Darren, how important is it for Amani to establish himself physically early in the game? Kind of drew that one offensive foul first. Is that an emphasis for him?
Yeah, I thought Amani got off to a little slow start today too. Just again, I don't know if some of it was just not accounting for those 3 games, like, in the 3 days and stuff, if we were just a little half step slow because of that. But we just didn't have it in that first half, and I think Amani was one of those 2, just wasn't quite himself to start the game. But yeah, Amani's one of those guys that I think the sky's the limit for, and he's continuing to grow as a player and figuring out, as an undersized guy, having to, he's having to compete down in the post against 7-footers almost every single night. So he's learning how to do that. But I love Amani. His approach is incredible every day. Comes with a smile on his face. Great teammate. All about winning too. And he was the happiest guy in the locker room for Eduardo after the game. And he made sure to single him out to make sure he got the praise he deserved. So, I think Amani's going to have an awesome career here, and certainly excited about his future.
Coach, I'm not sure how much you guys will clip up for each individual player, but it seemed like you might have a few more clips for Sincere after this game than maybe previous games. The rebounds, steals, some of the plays he made, more than just.
Yeah, we'll clip up every guy, watch their minutes with them individually, so they can see what they did well, what are maybe a few things that they can work on, focus on a little bit. But his impact on the game. Sometimes people get so caught up into scoring, and I get it, but Buck's impact on winning is what he did tonight, especially defensively. That's hard to do, to control a guy like Epps and hold him to 2 points, I think, in the second half, and go get 9 rebounds and lead the break in transition. There's a lot of things that guys do to impact winning besides scoring, and he's certainly one of them.
Coach, Tony, Sincere, Eduardo, does it feel like guys are more and more kind of figuring out what their role on the team is and how they can make the biggest impact?
Yeah, and that's where I think we've grown the most these last couple of weeks. Is it takes a while when you have all these new guys. They're coming from different schools, and now they're all getting thrown together, and you start playing games. It's where do I fit in? How do I best utilize it? My talents to fit into helping us win. And I feel like that role acceptance on teams is a huge part of winning, and that's what keeps some teams from winning is the inability for teams to do that. And I feel like our guys are completely bought into whatever I got to do to help the team, and they're growing into that now, and that's fun to see as a coach.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you.